Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking a look here at Terra Classic, seeing what's going on, of course. And if you are new to the channel, thank you so much for watching. Hope you learned something here today. Been trading for a long time, and I hope that you can essentially kind of glean something here, right? Because we all want to use and need to make sure we're using our own risk tolerance. Don't trust everything you see online, of course, but obviously make sure that you can kind of build your own portfolio of what works best for you, right? That's the whole point here. If you want to help us too, also consider joining Crypto Cash Trading community over here on Twitter. Greatly appreciate the grow there. Like, follow, retweet, the whole 9 yards. We're going to have some giveaways coming up here soon. Really cool stuff there for our Crypto Cash Premium membership. We have day trades and swing trade signals, Trading Academy, community, etc. All right, you probably already know that if you've been watching the channel. Thanks again for watching. So let's go ahead and take a look here at Terra Classic. What we want to note here, of course, is some amazing stuff here. So we're back up over 50 on the RSI. This is extremely important. Keep in mind this is tentative because today's trading day hasn't closed yet, but there's a good chance that we will see this in another 7 hours. So this candlestick does close where we're at presently. We'll be above 50 on the RSI, but still tentatively rejecting at the 0.5 on Fibonacci there at about 9,500. So keep in mind, we're not out of the woods yet, but that's a positive sign we can be above that level. We can also see somewhat of a MACD bounce here, right? This is a good sign. A lot of times that does happen. We're basically just telling us we are on the right side of the tracks. So since we didn't diverge completely, we can see this momentous trend, even though, yes, it was on a downtrend, should continue upwards here. Okay. The main reason why too is because if you can see here, kind of there's an ascending wedge started from below. A lot of times it'll work itself into a wedge and continue higher. We've broken this descending type of trend here. We'll look at some moving averages to confirm that. But the bottom line here is this is more positive than negative, absolutely a positive sign. So taking a quick look at the moving averages here, again, the 4 hour is going to be a little bit more telling, but for right now, we're kind of testing that support / resistance level at 9,500, not only on Fibonacci, but basically the 50 on the moving average. So the 50-day moving average is telling us that that's a rejection point. We're above the 20. That's a good little trend setter, but we want to continue to maintain above that level. So obviously a closure at 9,500 or higher would be extremely important here today. If we close below, we could see retracement down to that 0.382 Fibonacci level at about 8,900 right there. Maybe just say 9,000 as a round number. So 9,000 and 9,500 will probably be the range bound activity we'll see. If we reject off the 50, we can close above 9,500. We should see this upper resistance level / 0.618 retested here soon. Okay, so cool stuff there in the overall sense. I think we're definitely more bullish than bearish here on the macro. Again, it's not like a stark reality though. It's not like it's clear as day you want to take a long position at this point. But the good news is it's doing fairly well here in comparison to Bitcoin. And I always like to kind of compare coins to Bitcoin because they align themselves typically with them. And at this point, if we see that the charts here for Bitcoin, we're looking at a different situation altogether for Bitcoin versus Terra Classic. Okay, in other words, Terra Classic, while it did wick up as Bitcoin did, the retracement was not half as severe, right? And that's a good sign. That tells us we have a lot of volume and a lot of support at this range, about 9,200. Okay, so good stuff there. Now take a look at the moving averages. This is what I like to kind of note here, is the fact that we're above the 50 and the 20-day SMA on the 4 hour. That's extremely important. That's that trend that I was referring to that is commonly something we need to pay attention to. So the fact that we're back up above that level is important. We'll look at the cloud on the 1 hour as well and kind of confirm that. But generally speaking, we're above 50 on the RSI here. We had a recent MACD convergence that's still converging. So this momentous trend should continue higher. Just know we do have a resistance at that, just say 10,000 / 9,900 mark, and that could prove a resistance level. But once again, if Bitcoin can just go sideways for a little bit longer, I think Terra Classic will take off as long as we don't have any obnoxious candle wicks down from Bitcoin. Even though it's doing well contrary to Bitcoin, it's still susceptible to these strong ups and downs. I mean, you saw what happened on Friday night. That was absolutely the same thing that happened with Bitcoin, right? So no surprise there. It's just generally one of those things we want to pay attention to. So again, all good in the hood if Bitcoin can pull its head out of its ass. Kind of a funny way to look at it, but that's the truth, the way that it's going right now. All right, so let's take a look at the 1 hour and kind of see with each Ichimoku cloud. This is what I'm talking about earlier. Whereas we had that confirming uptrend, right? We've got the conversion line above the baseline still holding strong. That's that nice momentum. We're above the cloud here too. And another reason why it's going to be important to close above 9,500 because we're soon to intersect with the cloud here if we don't continue higher. If we intersect with the cloud, it's no big deal as long as we don't drop below. But generally speaking, that should work as a support level 9,500 if we can kind of close out here today. If we don't close out at 9,500 or higher, then there's a chance we might eventually come underneath the cloud, and that would be more of a bullish sign. We're about 24 to 48 hours away from that, but still something to pay attention to. Lagging span is free and clear of the price action, so definitely something to note. So for the moment, we are in good shape. Just know in the next 24 hours, we'll have a definitive direction if we want to close our long position or want to keep it open, right? Again, definitely something you want to consider. So again, for me, Terra Classic, I took a long earlier on just because it was overextended to the downside. It made sense to go ahead and take that trade. But again, it's not something that I put a lot of leverage or money into. Okay? So me personally, even though I do trade this coin, it's a very casual type of transaction until I get confirmation. Once we have confirmation, we close above to say 10,000, we'd probably be in pretty good shape to consider some healthy, more aggressive targets. But again, Bitcoin needs to be stabilized before we can see that. All right, so again, just some important things to recognize. That's exactly why I put a Bitcoin video out daily. I recommend watching that so you know full well what's going on there, because if you're like a Bitcoin master, then altcoins make so much more sense. Okay, even if they are meme coins, nonsensical coins, shit coins, awesome coins, whatever they are, they're going to be working parallel or concurrent with Bitcoin, and when they break free from that, that's a good sign. And so far, Terra Classic has done that in the last 12 hours, right? Because again, look at this hourly and look at this hourly, right? Big difference between Bitcoin and Terra Classic. It's holding strong at that 0.5 Fibonacci support level. So I'm excited to see a closure above 9,500. We should be in pretty good shape to see a continuation upwards. I can't think of too much else we need to really cover here. We could take a look at TD sequential and see we didn't get really super overextended in either direction. We're hitting 5s and 4s essentially and resetting. So at this point, we continue the way that we have been with these higher lows. There's a great chance we're going to retest this level. So keep in mind, with this ascending type of trend that we're seeing, there's a greater chance the price breaking upwards than down from here. As if you continue to retest that resistance level, there's a greater chance it will break. And we could even see the start of a cup and handle pattern right now, which is typical common reoccurrence where the price will bounce off a Fibonacci retracement level, establish higher lows, the previous high becomes a new low, and we see that price breakthrough. So really cool stuff here. I really feel good and strong about Terra Classic here. I think it's definitely on the right side of the tracks. We just want to wait for a little bit of confirmation above that level. If you want to take a small trade right now, it wouldn't be terrible. Just make sure you don't have a large position size. And if you're going to use cross leverage, make sure it's, again, small position, low leverage, just to ensure if the price does come back down, you can sustain that and not wipe your account. Always use small position sizing. In other words, a small percent of your total portfolio if you're using cross leverage. That's something I teach in my trading academy, but it's important to do that with our community. If we take cross leverage trades, we make sure to kind of offset that with a small portfolio size. Okay, it's important not to just go all in 50% or something stupid like that. And no offense if you do that, but it's not the way that trading should work. It's about surviving, not thriving, at least in markets that we're in right now. There's not a tremendous amount of opportunity across the board when Bitcoin drops, a good 5% on a Friday night. So again, interesting stuff going on, but we're on the right side here for Terra Classic. I hope that made sense and I described that correctly. Again, help us grow our Twitter here, of course, over at Crypto Cash Trading. Basically, at Cash Trading is the tag. Link down below, of course. And then obviously join our our Telegram too. We're running both channels concurrent there to kind of keep everyone abreast. Really awesome, fun stuff. So I love the interaction. Thanks again for all the positive feedback. Look forward to working with you if you want to become a better trader. CryptoCash.tech is a site, day trades, swing trades, etc. The whole 9 yards there. A lot of fun. Have a good one. We'll see you in tomorrow's video. Take good care. Thanks again.